Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest joining us this morning.
And she in here looking rich.
Miss Naturi Naughton, welcome.
Well, hello. Thank you. Looking rich.
That's
okay.
right. You never look poor. I'm just saying.
I was like, dang, was I on
I looked before when I came in here.
What was happening?
You just look rich, especially when you came in here with the fur. You had the fur on.
You know, I had to. It's winter. Got to give him a little fur. Got the baby bump popping. So you got to step out, kid.
Hey.
Well, congratulations on everything.
Thank you.
You're getting married and now the baby bump. How you feeling?
I feel amazing, actually. I'm so blessed. I mean, my wedding was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That was almost a year ago, actually, in April.
Wow.
And here we are, having a little one. I actually feel so, and I'm in my second trimester.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the good part of pregnancy. You know, in 2 months or so, I might be a little sleepy, but I'm actually doing good, feeling good, and just excited to be out and about. And I feel happy because I hid my pregnancy for damn near 6 months.
How
Why'd
was
you
that?
have to hide it?
Yeah, I was gonna say. How was the
You
first
were hiding a
trimester?
child.
I mean,
You
no,
are-
I whatever. No, well, we were just wanted to be really private. I was shooting a movie. I didn't need everybody to know. And then I was doing some other stuff, and I was like, well, I'll just wait. So I just kept waiting, and me and my husband were just wanting to get to a really good, safe place in the pregnancy. You know, nowadays you just never know. But fortunately, I've had a smooth ride. And then, like, around the holidays, we were like, all right, let's make it Black History Month. We having a black baby. Let's announce it during February. So that's what we did. But
Is marriage as fulfilling as I mean, I'm married and Envy's married, but is it as fulfilling as people say it is?
I think it is. I've heard people actually talking about marriage, and there's been
Lala?
Yeah, you heard La
I
Lizzy.
heard somebody sent me that, and I was like, "Really, La? You were in my wedding."
And she caught the flowers,
She
right?
caught the bouquet, and
caught
I
the
was,
bouquet.
I was like, "Girl, it's gonna be your year." But I personally think marriage is super fulfilling when you are willing to do the work, and when you are married to like your best friend. At the end of the day, it shouldn't feel like, you know, the negative connotation that comes with like, it's so draining, it's you know, it's exhausting, and they're miserable people. At the end of the day, like, you don't rely on another person to give you full happiness and joy. That's a God thing. And the two of you come together, and if you're complete and they're complete and you bring your strengths, I think marriage is the most amazing union ever.
Absolutely.
How long did the honeymoon phase last?
Well, I'm still in it. I mean,
Obviously.
I mean, we got started real quick on making babies, but no, I think the first year maybe is like, but then things start to get more real. My parents have been married for 52 years, going on 52 years. My grandparents were married for 65 years. So
Congratulations.
the way I feel about like just people staying together, I'm a little old school. I'm super conservative, y'all. Like, I don't know if anybody knows this. They see Tasha and they be like, what? Ghost should have stayed with me. I mean, hey, he might have made it through. He might have made it through. But that's how I feel about watching examples in my life staying together and just working through the good and the bad. So honeymoon phase lasts as long as you want it to be.
Were you fiending anything at all right now? So like I tell everybody, my wife for one of the pregnancies was fiending strawberries, and one time it was gum. Like, is there anything that you're fiending? One time was slushies from 7-Eleven. Is there anything that you're fiending that you want that, you know, sometimes hubby just got to go get?
I'm very particular anyway, out of pregnancy, in pregnancy, but I haven't had any crazy cravings. I do like my Haagen-Dazs, like the chocolate Haagen-Dazs with the nuts on the top with the vanilla ice cream in the middle. Excuse me, and I have heartburn.
Mouth started watering as soon as you started
As soon as you
talking
said
about
Yeah,
it.
I was like, nem, nem, nem. But then I'm a peanut butter person. So I just like peanut butter on a lot of things. I love peanut butter.
Like
but
on what? Like anything strange?
I mean, no, just like fruit, bananas, apples, peanut butter bars, peanut butter crunch, peanut butter, and, you know, like the yogurt with the peanut, anything. But I don't have a specific craving.
Gotcha.
Honestly, I just feel like I just love food in general.
What is it like being on sets, you know, in filming, like when you're pregnant? Have things gotten better
Yeah, I
for
actually
women
was
going
just
through
on
that,
set
or?
yesterday filming.
Really?
On the infamous show.
Ooh.
But, well, I don't know if I'm supposed to say that.
Ooh.
Wait a minute. Was I supposed to say that? Shit. Okay, well, anyway.
So that's Ghost, too.
We'll see which one it is.
Wow.
Let's just say Tasha's still alive.
But
you know, she has not been killed off yet.
Okay.
But it is so funny, trying to hide the bump when I've been doing like little appearances, or if it's a show that the character is not pregnant. It actually worked really, really well. I was on set and I took a picture and sent it to my husband. He was like, where'd the baby go? I was like, we hit it. So it actually works. And I think, it just depends on the character. I'm actually like auditioning for a character right now that is a pregnant woman. So I was like, woo, yes, I get to embrace my pregnancy. So it's nice.
Are studios more accommodating to women that are pregnant now? Like,
I think things are changing.
Okay.
It's so funny. I was just talking about this. I think that pregnancy, look at Rihanna in the Super Bowl making history. I felt so empowered. But even me being pregnant, being able to work, doing press, have a movie coming out, I have different things going. It feels like studios and executives are more supportive, or even just looking at pregnancy differently. It used to be like, oh, you're handicapped in a way. But honestly, I can do a lot of things. I'm not saying I can do everything, but I can do a lot of things and still feel good. But when I was pregnant with my first daughter, with Zuri, my first pregnancy, I was scared to tell, my producers and the executives at Power, because I thought, honestly, I said, they're going to kill me. I literally thought they were going to kill me off.
Right.
I was like, here we go. Tasha's going to trip and land in a fire or something. But fortunately, my showrunner, Courtney Kemp and Shanna Stein, and all the producers they're also women who are mothers. I felt like they were so supportive. And
That's dope.
I had my baby, came back in 6 weeks and kept it going, season 5 of Power. So it was good.
That's why women in leadership positions are very important.
No, absolutely.
It does make a difference. Men, I think y'all get it. I think everybody's starting to come around. But when you have women in powerful positions, they can actually use their own personal experiences and their lives to help kind of be empathetic to the people in their shows.
Now, watching Rihanna perform, was that different for you, knowing that she's pregnant, you're pregnant?
I was like, oh, Riri, we're going to have babies around the same time. But watching that Super Bowl performance, I felt like something was going on. I saw like a half a rub, and then when she did the full rotation, because we don't really do that full belly unless you're with child. So I was like, yes, got it done very quickly. Knock it out. Get it done, girl. But I was really inspired, empowered, because to be able to perform at that level and, being pregnant is not easy. I know. But she looks beautiful. She looks happy. She looks settled. She looks content. That's a real thing, to be able to be settled. And that's how I feel. So it just made me feel like, I think something was in the water last summer, because is a lot of people are popping up pregnant. I was like, what we drinking?
I like that Vogue cover too.
Oh, that Vogue was
Like,
crazy.
It's
the
something,
baby is so cute.
Yeah, but it's something powerful about her in the front and ASAP behind her holding the baby. I don't know. It's just something that's like, wow. Because, usually it's the other way around. You see the man leading. It's just something that's divinely powerful about that.
You are so right, because, the woman is God.
That's right.
But at the end of the day, womanhood connected to what you see, the transformation of what happens in that process, and then seeing the baby and ASAP, it just looked like that's what I think the new age of family and Black love and just representing, bringing life into the world with joy and happiness is. And I feel like they're doing a great job. So big ups.
Absolutely.
Do people come to you to try to rub your belly? We talk about this a lot. Like, people sometimes get disrespectful and just automatically just think it's their belly too, and want to touch and rub.
What is that about? Like, what? I always wonder. I don't feel that way when I see other pregnant women. I never had the urge to be like, unless it's like my best friend or like somebody I'm really close to. Why do people do that? I'm not sure, but I was literally just for Valentine's Day, my husband took me out to dinner, and a lady at the reception when we were coming in was like, oh my gosh, can I? And she came I had to intercept. It was like a block, because I don't know your energy.
Absolutely.
It's like, and I'm not saying she had bad juju. I'm just saying, like, you don't just take that authority over someone, because, it's just a weird thing when people just, they were like, oh, and I'm like, oh, you can observe, but you don't have to touch, because it's a real thing, touching, the belly and the energy and spirit.
Right, absolutely.
I just believe, like, we have to pick and choose who we let do that. So
That's right.
I had to block that.
Now, Naturi is here today for, a couple of reasons, but a movie is out today.
Yes.
It's called 88. It stars you and Brandon B. Dixon and Orlando Jones. What is that movie about?
Yes, and executive produced by you.
That's right.
Charlamagne the God in the building.
Yes.
88. Okay, so let me tell y'all, this movie, which premiered at Tribeca Film Festival, I think is a dope conspiracy, political thriller that shows how super PACs and, funds kind of are coming in different ways that it might be illegal, and used to promote a specific candidate. And a lot of times when you look at like white supremacy versus, certain groups, you can't just assume just because the candidate is same complexion as you,
That's right.
that they are absolutely for you. And 88 explores some of those themes, also like just the thrill of it. And my character is, the wife of Brandon Victor Dixon. And when he called me to do this movie, I was like, oh yes, I'm in, because the script is amazing. It's directed by Aaron Mose. It's just a really good film. And I think people will think when they leave 88, so please go to the theaters, support your Black movies now. It actually is going to make you think about what's happening in our politics and pay attention. Don't just go, oh yeah, I'm voting for him because, he looks like me, or he's Black, or he's Spanish. And that's cool, but we have to start paying attention to what they're really about and who's behind them. Follow the money.
Right.
That's the hashtag for 88. Follow the money. So if you follow the money, you'll see what's really going down.
And the movie is teaching people stuff. And what I find interesting, I've been reading like reviews of it, right? Like the Los Angeles Times, different people. And everybody's saying how they like the movie, but they say it might be too smart. Like it's too much going on.
It is very
I'm like,
smart.
huh?
I know. I'm like, so do we always have to dumb down our people or our audience, essentially? And that's for any group. I just mean, like, sometimes making a movie that is intelligent, people automatically get scared. Like, oh, no one's going to understand this. It's too much thinking. I disagree. I think we need to challenge our audiences. We need to help them see things that they may not normally see, or educate them on areas, particularly in politics, that they don't normally, like, we don't talk about, and particularly in Black and brown communities. So if we make 88 a statement and also just an eye-opening piece as a film, you'll be able to see like, oh, dang, that was a smart movie, but now I feel smarter. I feel more enlightened, and that's the goal.
I was going to ask, were you into politics like that before this movie?
I went to school for political science at Seton Hall. So I studied poli-sci at Seton Hall University, SHU, shout out. I'm a Jersey girl, for all those who know, East Orange. So politics is something I teetered or thought about even like delving into. When I post 3W, I went to college and I was like, I want to be a lawyer, or I could, really change policy. So I thought about either entertainment law or litigating.
So after 3LW, you went to school
Oh,
and all that?
yeah. This was like post being kicked out of the group. My life changed.
Never let that story die.
Oh, it's fine. People will never let it die. It's not me. People. But it's okay. I survived. Amen. And I'm cool with Adrian now. I'm so happy.
I saw that.
Yeah, she's doing great, and I'm so happy that we reconnected. But anyway, so I went to Seton Hall after 3W, studied political science. I thought about that, and then kind of got pulled back into the industry via Broadway and Hairspray on Broadway. But I've always had a passion for how, policies and lawmakers, because at the end of the day, if we don't get in from the inside, we just can be standing on the outside complaining.
That's right.
But if you're not going to step in it, you can't really change anything. And that's how I've always felt about politics.
That's why I like 88, because it does show you how you can, change things, especially with these PACs and everything.
Oh, yeah. The super PACs, you can change a lot, and you can figure out where, like we said, money is a huge influencer in how these elections go, when you have it and when you don't. And some people don't even know that they're being used as pawns.
That's right.
88 is another dope thing about this film. It explores how we can often be used as pawns in a certain agenda, pushing an agenda, which there's so many agendas out right now, and so many things, and people, making sure that their agenda is in television, in film, and in kids shows. It's out of control. But the agenda is something that you can use this person and say, you be the forefront, you be the leader, and they don't even know that they're being manipulated and used. So it explores that as well, with just how the presidential election process goes. So
now I was going to ask you that, because 88 does uncover a lot of conspiracy. So were you a person who believed in conspiracy theories? Clearly.
Oh, I'm a conspiracy theorist. I was just on a show talking. They called it. I said I got a lot of Naturiisms, and I have like different things that I don't know if it's because I'm pregnant, but in the last year, I watch a lot of documentaries. I mean, I love documentaries, but I like dive in and be like, see what I'm saying? This way, and then this is what they did to us, and you know what I'm saying? Like, don't get it twisted. You got to look deeper. You got to look deeper. But it's true in a lot of ways. But I guess to your point, maybe I am a little bit conspiracy-ish. I'm not saying completely enamored and immersed in it, but at the same time, some of the theories, because I watch all of y'all interviews and I've seen different guests, and I'm like, no, they speaking truth. People might be like, oh, that's ridiculous, you know, but sometimes what seems ridiculous be the thing that is really happening.
Absolutely.
So open your eyes, people.
So
What's the biggest one?
I was gonna say, what did you think about all the balloons that have been popping up
There's
recently?
only been one balloon. Y'all keep saying balloons. There's been one. The other
One
three were
balloon.
unidentified flying objects.
so
That's true.
So what are your thoughts on the one balloon and the UFOs?
The one balloon. Oh gosh. Well, that I mean, I think it's pretty apparent that there was some, you know, spy activity happening, and I think we had to shoot it out. I feel like, what is it, China, right? It's like they're in denial. I feel like if people get caught, they should just say like,
Caught me.
all right, yep, I was looking.
But yesterday,
I was trying to see what y'all was doing.
China's accusing America of doing the same thing because there's unidentified flying objects flying over China.
Yeah, but not to that degree. I need to back that up with some evidence. I need to see it. But I'm just saying, to the balloon that was basically right in front of us, something's going down.
You think it's aliens? You think it's aliens?
No. I'm not saying I don't believe in.
You believe in aliens?
I believe. I feel like these subjects always make me laugh. y'all are hilarious. No, because then people come like, the headline would be Naturi Naughton pregnant, believes in aliens.
Naturi Naughton is pregnant with an alien.
Yeah, that would be the headline. Naturi Naughton newly discovered how to birth an alien. I don't know, but no. I think there's obviously life and outside of the Earth. I've never had a personal experience, but I've seen some UFOs, and I do believe that that exists. So God is like miraculous. So there's so many elements that we don't know or understand. So I wouldn't say that there aren't.
Look how much life it is on Earth. All of the different life forms.
I mean,
birds
it's insane.
And things in the jungle,
like
and the
down
woods,
to
and
the
water.
tiniest little ant.
Yeah. So why wouldn't the universes be that diverse?
It has to be, because why would there be all these other planets? But that's a whole nother topic. But yeah, I just think that the balloon was not alien related.
Okay.
I think it was, spy or surveillance related.
What about the other three though?
The other three
unidentified flying objects.
Yeah, now
that
that
they
I
they haven't
can't-
recovered no wreckage. They say they probably won't recover the wreckage.
That might be aliens.
I'm trying to tell you. The fact that they put out a statement saying it's not aliens.
Oh, did they?
Yes.
Oh, I
the White
didn't
House put out
see-
a statement saying it's not extraterrestrial.
So then now you really try to like steer us away from the truth.
Absolutely.
That's funny. I didn't know that.
This is conspiracy right here. Now, question: Have you totally given up music? Done with it? Not doing it no more? No interest, no love?
I never say giving up anything, because I do a lot of films that incorporate music or singing. I just did Kirk Franklin, The Night Before Christmas, a holiday film where I was singing, me and Luke James. It was great. I feel like music is in my soul and in my gut and in my spirit. I just think the music business, has changed so much that it doesn't have the same bright lights as it used to. When I was a teenager, I was chasing it. You know what I mean? If it's going to happen, it would have to be organic. I want to record. I love music. I love being in the studio. I like creating. I just don't like the BS that goes along with the business. So, God bless all the, the youngins. I support it. Y'all out here killing it. But I personally believe in producing. I want to be on that executive producer level. I want to continue to direct. I directed my first short film this past year. And while pregnant, I've felt more inspired to be more behind the scenes and be more creative, because if I can give opportunities to other young, Black people, women in particular, that's what my goal is. So it doesn't have to be through music anymore. I used to think that music was the gateway, or that's the thing that's gonna. But I lived it. I had a whole girl group, signed a record deal at 15. So for me, it's like going back.
Gotcha.
I've done like 3
So you tired of
careers.
all the 3LW talk, and when you hear old interviews and they're saying this and the group was that, you tired of it?
I don't get it. Doesn't. I don't know if it's tired of it, but I don't get mad. I know that people genuinely connected to that era and genuinely loved 3LW. So I'm actually grateful to have been part of like kind of this section of history with girl groups and the boy groups, B2K. I mean, but B2K was just my friends. Nothing happened.
There was no
with us.
entanglement. We heard there was entanglement going on with 3 members.
Child.
Oh no, that's what
Bless her heart.
the young lady. What's her name? Kylie. I can never pronounce it.
We can never get it.
Yeah, she said that she had an entanglement with 3 of the members. She
God
didn't
bless
say
her.
The 3LW had an entanglement with 3 of the
Oh
members.
no. God bless her.
Yeah, I haven't squashed and spoke at
No,
all.
I don't talk to her at all. But that's why I was saying, like, it's almost miraculous and amazing that. But because I think Adrian's heart and just the spirit and the growth. When people grow and you grow up, you start to be like, oh, okay, so we actually have a lot more in common, and we actually struggled in the same way. We were children manipulated by adults. So the truth is, like, what's the reason for hate? At the end of the day, I'm happy for her and she's happy for me.
Y'all gonna have to do the 3LW doc, and it's your fault.
Everybody's asking
it's
for
your
that.
fault and Adrian's fault. Because
Yeah, because
y'all
we're
stars
still-
continue to grow.
Right.
Somebody just posted that. I'm waiting for the 3LW documentary or behind this, and I'm like, well, what more? I mean, there's a lot to talk about. I'm actually starting to write a book about all the I went through, but I don't really know. Like, I mean, I guess somebody will figure it out. Call me. I'm down. I've said all my truth, so I think at this point I'm excited to like grow and move forward, building new friendships and healing some of that pain. Like, the truth is that was a very hurtful time. But in a way, I look back at it like, that was pretty cool. I was 15 years old on tour with Destiny's Child, and I lived a good life, and I'm still standing. So that's really what it's all
You had to
about.
have trust
you'd
issues,
be
though.
open to
Oh,
sitting
I got
down?
mad trust issues.
So you'd be open to sitting down with Keely and everybody?
I
Because y'all
would
would have to have a whole conversation amongst
I
each other.
mean, to do a documentary, do we all have to be?
No, they ain't got to be there together,
I was
right?
like, they could just do confessionals or just put.
But you say you want to heal.
I'm healing. I've healed. I've healed. I
You
don't
gotta
need
talk to somebody to
that
heal.
one. I don't need to heal. I'm
that
good. No, the difference is when things are bad 20 years ago, but when people continuously
Got you.
say and do things, it's like you're trying to move on, and then there's random videos or somebody's like Charlamagne's still
Keep attacking.
like, come on now.
Yeah.
I've moved on. So I'm down for the talking video in one separate box, like confessional, have me here and maybe me and Adrian and whoever.
The only reason I asked about the trust issues because the doc is good because people want to see it, right? But
Yeah.
also it can guide parents if they have girls and
Oh,
they
I
have
talk
kids
about
in the
this all the
industry
time.
of what not to do because you pretty much leave your kids with these managers and labels that you think that they're going to
Are
do the best for
protecting
them,
your kids.
and they're not.
Yo, that is a subject that I talk about, and so many young people that want to get in the industry and their parents come up to me and was like, would you recommend, even in acting, like, the Disney shows, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I always say, and they expect me to be like, is Zuri going to be in it? I'm like, as long as I can keep my child a child and protected and not by certain groups or, of adults that really only see them as a commodity or money, I'm good. Like, I don't really recommend it. I made it, but I could be one of those horror stories that's somewhere strung out. I could be one of them stories that didn't really have a career after, a group. Because there are a lot of former girl group, boy groups, and you'd be like, dang, what happened? Is everything?
yeah.
Or somebody might catch them in a parking lot and be like, look at this one. So the truth is, it's really by God's grace. It's by faith, and it's by like choosing that my life is not defined by that moment.
Did adults offer you drugs and alcohol back then? Was it that bad or
Not adults, other teenagers.
really?
Yeah, I mean, real talk. There were so many things, when you're on tour, even like sex or just things like where they would try to influence you to be sexual with certain people for advances. A lot of, and the adults in our situation, sadly, were with it. We were like teenagers, and a lot of that kind of, unfortunately got to a point where I was like, this is not how my 16th year is supposed to feel.
Did you ever want to go back and get revenge, get them? Because especially in this day and age, like
You
see
gonna do the 3LW doc? Because he going.
No, I'm just asking 'cause there's
I
so many
said,
people
you got
that
all the
She
questions
getting
for the
revenge now
documentary.
because she's successful.
No,
Revenge
but
is
not
here.
from them, but revenge from the people that try to take advantage of you. Because there's adults that try to take advantage of you, and those
Yeah.
adults should be, prosecuted, especially because it gives them the opportunity to still do it at
But
certain times.
truthfully, Envy, I'm not a vengeful person. Like, that's just not even in my spirit. Like, I believe that my revenge or success is literally in my survival, in my success, in me being an inspiration to other young Black girls. I grew up in East Orange, New Jersey. There could have been so many things that stopped me from making it, not just the group. So for me, it's like, okay, I'm sitting here. I got a baby in my belly. I got a ring on my finger. I got a show that I'm still popping in and out. Like
a movie out today.
A movie out today, 88. So I'm shaking it up. And I feel like that's the revenge. So when people look, they're mad just by seeing us here. So there's somebody that's mad right now that you sitting here, got your own show, that I'm sitting here. At the end of the day, we're here though. And that in itself is a statement to, what God has for you.
How were your parents involved? Because clearly you was raised right.
Amen.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank God for my parents. They've been married for, I think I said that, 52 years.
Yeah.
From the Caribbean. My father's Crucian. My mother is from the South, North Carolina. So I feel like my parents gave me a good balance, that like a little bit of that toughness, the West Indian culture. And then also, the sophistication and the elegance of like the Southern culture. I think my parents did a good job of giving me enough of a foundation of self-confidence, because that's what I think parents now have to remember is social media is giving these kids a false sense of confidence, but that's not real. So when it breaks down, they're broken. But that's not going to give me happiness. That's why I was saying, even when we talk about marriage, a person can't fulfill you. A person can't make you whole. Only you and God can. Not to go deep, but I'm just saying it's real like that. I was watching, what was the interview? Was it Kevin? Okay, let me not even go there because this is a funny running joke with my friends. But I watched you guys interview, and it just gets deep and spiritual. But if you really think about
Kevin Gates or Kevin Hart?
Kevin Gates.
Okay.
But I was just thinking, like, it's a completion within yourself. When people start getting their weight right, their skin right, their body right, like he was saying, it's just, it all kind of like follows, and nothing else really can stop you. You fly like a bird. What
was the running joke from that interview when he said,
"Oh my gosh, okay. Okay, well, I was getting my braids done. This is funny. I was getting my braids done. I was up to 5 o'clock in the morning. That interview got me through the night. Me, my braider, and one of my best friends were sitting and watching it on like my laptop or whatever. And when he said the thing about the skin,
women with acne.
Yeah, and I never struggled with acne, but I was like, what's interesting? I said, that man is onto something. Another one of them conspiracy theories that I said he's onto something. Because I was watching it and I said, because I think whatever I'm doing is working.
Word.
And my skin is doing really well. And he was like, when you pent up, it can't come out. So you're like, pop, 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 pop. And I think he did a great job of expressing it. I know that sounds crazy, but shout out to Kevin Gates. But I said it, he's right. He's onto something.
You know what I wanted to ask too? Like Brandon B. Dixon, he's starring in 88 too, and he also played Silver on Power.
Yes.
And y'all have a lot of chemistry on camera. How does your husband feel about that on-screen chemistry?
Oh my gosh. I feel like I've had on-screen chemistry with a lot of people.
Yeah.
Omari Hardwick obviously is Ghost, but Brandon is so great. I've known him since I was in Hairspray when he was in Color Purple. He's such a great actor and producer, and just like his whole vision is amazing. So I've always wanted to work with him. But when we did Power together, it was just like easy, and I told Courtney, I was like, oh, me and Brandon are going to work well together because he's talented and he's a gentleman. So, unfortunately, Terry Silver didn't make it. Sorry about that. My husband killed him off. It's always my fault. But then for 88, I'm actually pregnant in the film, which is funny. Somebody came, they saw a clip and was like, oh, you was pregnant while you was shooting? I was like, that was 2 years ago. I would have to be pregnant forever. But I play his wife. The chemistry is organic. My husband doesn't feel like weird about chemistry because I'm an actor and that's part of the job. If I don't, then I might not be getting the jobs. So I think he's confident, and one of the reasons why I married him, other than he can cook really well and that he's amazing and a good Southern gentleman, is the fact that he's confident. So when I met my TV husband, Omari was like, oh, this is going to work because a lot of people are intimidated, because TERS is so, Omari said that to him because he introduced us. I can be a little aggressive, or I've been told. So some men be like scared, or even people. And I'm like, why are you scared of me? I'm not really about to hurt nobody. But I don't know what it is, but he ain't scared of me. And I like that.
And he was cool with the sex scenes and all that.
Well, I told him, he he had seen the show. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to say he was like, yeah, I'm cool. Like, what up? My wife out there. But at the end of the day, it's like he had to, I think, adapt to what that feels like. Mm-hmm. But when a man is settled and confident and he knows what the difference is, like even on TV, the sex scenes, I'm really acting and giving, he knows the real faces and the real moans.
Hilarious.
I mean, I'm just saying, there are,
you all at the premiere
there
thought
are
about
fake
that.
versions.
That is hilarious.
You got to give, for the TV, you got to be like, and there's certain things with Ghost I would do and he would just, and we make it look real, but it was all part of my, like, I had choreography in my head. Mm-hmm. But when I go home, it's like a different situation.
Gotcha.
Power Book 2 Season 3 starts, March 17th?
March 17th.
Yeah, Power Book. Oh, my gosh. Power Book 2 goes, I was like, what season are we on? 3, March 17th, obviously on Stars. It's so good. I feel like every season it gets better. And I was just telling Michael Rainey, his growth and all the characters, the young generation in the Power universe. They're holding it down. I'm really, really proud.
It doesn't end. Power doesn't end. It just keeps going.
It definitely keeps going.
It does.
It just keeps going.
It's like a universe that just gets bigger, right? What'd you say?
Are you still in witness protection this season?
Well, you'll have to see. Where did I leave off? I was in witness protection. Tariq is looking for me. Mm-hmm. I don't know where I'm going to be when he finds me. So we'll see how that ends up. But I'll just say, it's some interesting twists and turns, and you can never underestimate the power of Tasha. I'll just say that.
I feel like Tasha getting a spinoff.
I don't know.
I feel like Tasha getting a spinoff.
What makes you say that?
Because it only makes sense. All the other main characters pretty much had spinoffs.
I know, but there's so much that's going on now that I don't even know where is she? Where would that be? I don't know. And
Tasha's a queen pin in her own right. She can be if she chooses to be.
But I don't think she wants to be in the game anymore. Mm-hmm. So I think her whole journey would be very different. It would be like a Lifetime movie now. Mm-hmm. It wouldn't be the same. I think she's really ready for the life that she couldn't have with Ghost, and so maybe it might be a little different.
But she's also a mama bear.
She definitely is.
If Tariq's still in the game, Mama Bear got to come help her cubs at some point.
You are so good. Come through, Charlamagne.
Oh, so the spinoff coming?
No, I'm just saying you are so good. But you need to pitch it to the producers, and we'll see what happens. But hey, I live right here in New York City, so if something was to go down,
it's easy to shoot. You're here.
Easy to make it happen.
With all the blessings you have, everything professionally and personally, does it ever feel overwhelming?
Ooh, that's a great question. Yes, actually, in all honesty, it does feel overwhelming because sometimes you have this, maybe it's pressure to keep up or to stay on point or whatever it is that you're working on. It feels like sometimes it's never enough. Like I have to do more to be at the next level that I'm trying to get to. I got to take this class, or I want to do more to be the actor that I want to be, the director I want to be, the producer. And then, obviously I'm a new wife and being the mother that I must continue to be. So sometimes I think, especially as a woman, it feels like I don't want anything to fall by the wayside. Mm-hmm. But like Rihanna said recently, I saw her on the Apple interview before the Super Bowl, it really does change you. And you do have to, nothing is more important in that time. So if it's not worth it, like if it wasn't the Super Bowl, she might not have took that time away from her baby. Right. So for me, I guess it's overwhelming only because I know that I have a real job of motherhood and wifehood that continues no matter what. But then there's these other exciting things that come and pops and they can be distractions, but also blessings. So I guess I get overwhelmed because I'm also like a perfectionist in real life. I don't like failure, and I also don't like mediocrity. Like that's part of my personality, and I wish I could be like some people, just like, yeah, it is what it is. If it goes down, it goes. I'm like, no, it must, and it will, and it must go well, and we must do well. Like I don't believe in doing anything not to the best of my ability. So it is a little overwhelming. That's a great question, and honestly, yes.
All right. Well, we look forward to checking out 88 Keys. It's out today.
I know 88 Keys,
man. I was like,
that's
88.
I don't know why I said 88
I was
Keys.
like, wait a minute. minute. It's Alicia Keys
That's
on
Alicia
this.
Keys. I don't know why I said that.
88.
88 is out today. And
Out
we
today.
appreciate
Check your
you
local
for joining
listings,
us.
man, to see where it's playing.
Thank you.
In a city near you.
Yes, thank
And
you.
good
guys.
luck with everything. We appreciate you.
Thank
You're always a friend
you.
up here. So anytime you're in town, or you live here, but anytime you want to pull
I
up,
know.
just pull up.
Next time, I guess I probably won't have the baby bump, so maybe I'll see you
Unless
guys.
you come back for Power to promote Power.
We'll see. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, there's so much going on, but I'm just happy to be here, and I just want to say y'all are killing it. It's been great, like just being a fan of the show, but also being able to come up at each stage of my life and my career. It means a lot. So thank y'all for the love.
Thank you. It's Naturi Naughton. Lewis, it's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.